In a world where military power is everything, discover the mind-blowing secrets of China's $100 billion island fortress and the terrifying implications it holds for global security. Welcome to today's video, in which we disclose the horrifying reality about China's $100 billion military island base, one of the world's most fearsome military sites, and its potential to alter the Asia-Pacific power balance. We will investigate the inner workings of this contentious site and examine its global implications, from its strategic position to the cutting-edge weaponry and technology it houses. So buckle in and get ready to be amazed as we take you on an adventure that will leave you breathless. Other countries are continually probing the South China Sea, which has historically been considered China's territorial waters. China has undertaken the daunting job of developing several projects in the South China Sea over the years in reaction to these provocations and to consolidate its dominance over the region. China has committed more than $100 billion in a large-scale artificial land reclamation operation, resulting in the development of 8 massive artificial islands that form China's largest island military installation. The importance of these islands stems from the fact that they have 4 huge airports where combat and commercial aircraft may take off and land, hence strengthening China's military defense capabilities. It is critical to recognize that these military bases do not benefit the Philippines or the United States, yet it is critical to understand their significance to China's regional defense objectives. The creation of these artificial islands demonstrates China's unrelenting commitment to maintaining its territorial integrity and sovereignty. It is crucial to highlight the fact that China is not the first country to use land reclamation to construct a naval military facility. In fact, Japan carried out comparable land reclamation efforts in the 1980s and 1990s, building marine airports and military ports on adjacent islands and reefs. However, it was only after China faced conflict with the United States in the South China Sea that the Chinese People's Liberation Army decided to begin land reclamation efforts, expanding the area of the islands among the many in the region and establishing a sea military base to bolster China's military defense. The decision to undertake these projects was made as part of a strategic plan to protect China's sovereignty and territorial integrity in the face of external threats. The Zhongsha Islands, a group of islands and reefs in China's Henan province, are one of the most notable artificial islands in the South China Sea. These islands have been designated as a critical development target for the creation of regional military outposts. The Zhongsha Islands are located in the center of the South China Sea, in the middle of several other islands. The main island of Zhongsha Atoll is 140 kilometers long and 60 kilometers wide, making it a strong presence in the region. This island's strategic importance cannot be overemphasized, as it will be critical in China's efforts to reinforce its military defenses and maintain territorial sovereignty in the South China Sea. So before we proceed further and analyze the potential impact of this massive move on the neighboring countries, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button below to stay updated with these types of latest development videos. Now let's continue. When viewed from the air, the Zhongsha Islands look in a ring-like structure, with a sea depth of 13 to 20 meters in the center of the ring island, making it a perfect place for a safe harbor. Russian military specialists have stated that these islands have the ability to accommodate massive military outposts. The natural circumstances of the Zhongsha Islands are particularly intriguing to Chinese engineers, since they are naturally occurring and much stronger than artificial islands built through land reclamation. The extension of the islands allows for the construction of a deep water port, which will serve as a vital transit point for Chinese naval supplies. However, considering the current rising sea levels, the Chinese construction team's effort to carry out land reclamation here is enormous. Despite the constraints, Chinese engineers have completed the construction of these marine military bases, using their expertise to overcome the obstacles and ensure that the work progresses successfully. During the island-building effort in the South China Sea, the Chinese construction crew confronted the difficulty of sand dredging and reclamation. To address this issue, dozens of huge engineering ships such as Tianjin and Tenkun were sent. The Sky Whale, a big cutter suction dredging created independently by China, is one of them. It has a total installed power of 19,200 kilowatts and can extract and absorb 4,500 cubic meters of seabed material per hour at a maximum excavation depth of 30 meters. Despite its great capabilities, the Tiancun outperforms it in terms of operational performance, with a total installed power of more than 25,500 kilowatts and the ability to dredge and absorb 6,500 cubic meters of seabed material per hour. The Chinese construction team can reclaim approximately 10,000 cubic meters of sea in the South China Sea per day, using only these two big cutter suction dredgers. China's land reclamation project in the South China Sea is absolutely extraordinary in terms of scope and efficiency. The Chinese construction crew was able to exceed their early expectations and complete the Zhongsha Islands reclamation project with a 30% boost in efficiency because of the utilization of innovative engineering ships such as the mighty Skywhale and Tiancun. The total area of the islands has now grown to almost 400 square kilometers, clearing the path for the construction of China's largest marine military station. When finished, the base will have a total usable area of more than 150 square kilometers, making it 5 times larger than the U.S. installation at Pearl Harbor. The Chinese People's Liberation Army will continue to strategically send weaponry and supplies to this region, owing to the Chinese government's unshakable commitment to building infrastructure on the Zhongsha Islands. These islands will serve as a vital transfer and supply point for the Chinese Navy's ocean-going fleet, bolstering China's defensive capabilities in the South China Sea. Furthermore, China has invested in a variety of infrastructure and military bases throughout the region, including the Shisha and Nansha Islands, forming a strategic triangle that is critical to defending China's territorial waters. With the sea and sky becoming increasingly essential in modern warfare, these sites offer a significant edge in ensuring China's sovereignty. In contrast, the U.S. has a long history of favoring naval and air power, and it has constructed a massive network of military bases in over 140 countries worldwide. The United States' participation in global affairs has been distinguished by substantial overseas military activities as self-proclaimed gendarmerie. China's territorial security is critical, and establishing maritime military bases is critical in achieving that goal. The Philippines and the United States are concerned about China's expanding military strength in the South China Sea islands. To stop endangering China's sovereignty in the South China Sea, the Philippines must desist from collaborating with the U.S. Aside from its territorial significance, the South China Sea is also a rich supply of fishery resources, including popular species such as tuna and swordfish, which can feed millions of people. However, Southeast Asian countries encroached on China's territorial waters for illegal fishing in the 1970s and 1980s, resulting in a progressive reduction and depletion of fishery resources. Intense discussions about this subject have taken place between China and its neighboring Southeast Asian nations. Therefore, it is essential that China take proactive steps to maintain its territorial security and protect the South China Sea's important resources. The People's Liberation Army of China has been actively establishing maritime military sites in the South China Sea, raising fears among neighboring countries about China's expanding military might. As a result, several of these countries have elected to join the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea and to comply with China's Fishery Resource Protection Treaty. This action is intended to protect the South China Sea's fishing resources and ecological environment, which are crucial to the region's long-term viability. Every year, the Chinese People's Liberation Army imposes a fishing ban in order to safeguard the fish in the South China Sea. This indicates China's dedication to environmental conservation as well as its duty as a significant regional stakeholder. The South China Sea is a gold mine for oil and gas, making it a significant asset for China. According to China's third resource survey, oil reserves in the South China Sea may surpass 25 billion tons, which is equivalent to 125 billion barrels of standard oil. This is 5 times China's total land oil reserves. Furthermore, Southeast Asian countries such as Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei have successfully tapped into this valuable resource, resulting in large oil exports. If China is successful in developing these resources, it will be able to drastically reduce its reliance on imported energy. Even if the United States and other nations impose blockades in the future, China can still develop and utilize the South China Sea to meet its energy demands independently. With continual breakthroughs in offshore oil extraction technology, it is just a matter of time before China fully produces the seabed oil in the South China Sea, ensuring its energy supply security. In the future, China will use its South China Sea marine military installations to ensure the peaceful development of its economy and support regional stability. China can look forward to a bright and self-sufficient future with such large reserves at its disposal. As we come to the end of this eye-opening video, we must ask, what does China's enormous military island base mean for the future of the South China Sea and the rest of the world? Let us know what you think in the comments section, and stay tuned for more helpful content like this. Thank you for tuning in.